What's going on, leather fans? People of the tube? It's that time again. It's time for another one of Nomenclature's 5 and 5. 5 things I dislike, 5 things I like. About today, the side pocket duffel. In chestnut, old logo, of course, with the matching luggage tag. Perfect match, too. Anyway, Kamal, this one's for you. Kamal has been a supporter of the channel for a good while, and I believe he's called dibs on this thing if I ever sell it. So, getting close, Kamal, so we'll see. Anyway, let's talk about this big dog right here. Cons. The thing is heavy. I always acknowledge that some of this Saddleback stuff, especially like these tanks, are heavy, but doesn't really bother me. This one, for some reason, kind of bothers me. I think because the exterior dimensions aren't really that big. I don't know what they are, but the bag itself is not really a large bag. But considering its size, it's very heavy. And the reason is because there is a lot of leather here, guys. I mean, a lot of leather. I don't know, maybe not quite as much as on the tanks, but there's still quite a bit of leather. I mean, look at these seams. Again, kind of like the tank, and the seams are everywhere. So there's a lot of leather, and you can see that it's gathered right there, obviously, and sewn up. So the bag is heavy, unusually heavy, and it kind of gets on my nerves sometimes if I'm carrying this thing. And when I say heavy, I mean empty. You put something in here and you can easily push 30 plus pounds in one of these. So that's the first con. The second con would be that in order to get into the bag, you have to unbuckle the front strap or straps if you have all three of them. But that's just where the fun starts. To actually get into the bag itself, you have to unbuckle the side pocket straps. So you can see that it runs through here, through the lid, and then comes down here. I wish they had just made this a separate buckle and belt over here on the side. That would have been so much easier. So you can see, now obviously I'm doing this one-handed, so it's not quite as graceful as I usually am. And let's get over to the other side. And gotta undo this one as well. There's a close-up in case you wanted to see it that close. Okay, so these are now undone. And we can get into the bag. So that's definitely, forgot about the front one. That's definitely a con. Lots of security, but a con for me, for sure. And it's just a real pain to get into because of that. And now we're finally in the bag. And you can see that the belts, or the straps, I should say, have this keeper right here. So that just automatically brings up the side pocket lid, which I guess is all right. Again, I just wish these were separate. So that's definitely a major con. You've got to unbuckle these side belts just to get into it. Pain in the butt. The other thing I don't like is this interior pocket. This is specific to this bag. So this is the slick pigskin plastic, whatever you guys are calling it nowadays. This thing, it's like a piece of plastic, and it is like rigid. I know some people have cut this thing out, and I was tempted to do that one time when I was packing, but I thought no, because I know that hurts the resale value if I were to ever want to resell this thing, or sell it, I should say. But anyway, this pocket, you can't really even, you can kind of squash it up against here by loading it with stuff, but then it causes wrinkles in there, and I don't know, I just don't think that's a good design. Not with this kind of pigskin. Now that thinner suede, whatever crap they're putting in the bags nowadays, that one I could see would be a little easier to work with because it would be much pliable than this one. So let's see, that's the interior pocket and the side pockets. That's the other thing. So this is number 3 or 4. To get to this, again, you're going to have to unbuckle this and open up the lid just to get into these side pockets. And the side pockets are pretty generous, but again, it's just a real pain in the butt to access those. And then the last thing that I don't like about the duffel is, and I guess it's probably due to its, let's call this I guess this is the width this way. It lays weird on the hip because there's so much real estate out away from you, down out to here. So it's not a real comfortable bag to walk with. And I know, of course, you can hold it by the handle and just walk that way, but it's heavy. So it just lays awkward on my hip, or maybe it's just me. And if you have the strap crossbody, that just makes things worse for some reason, or at least for me it does. So I typically, if I'm carrying on my right hip, then it's just on my right shoulder. I don't have it crossbody on my left shoulder. So those are the 5 cons. It's heavy. The interior pocket's kind of funky. You got to unbuckle these side straps to get to the main compartment, and it's difficult to get to these, and it lays weird on the hip. Now the stuff that I like. So obviously this thing looks awesome. It is definitely an attention getter and a conversation starter. It just has the classic duffel profile of days gone by. And it's just a really cool bag to travel with. And it does hold a lot of stuff. That's definitely one of the things I like. The kind of getting back to the downside of that, it gets heavy fast. It's, like I said, it's already heavy to begin with. And you start filling it up with, a few days worth of clothes and shoes and whatnot, souvenirs on the way back. This sucker's heavy. It's just uncomfortably heavy. And one cool thing about this duffel, another cool thing, is it does have an exterior pocket, which is very, very useful when traveling. Put my iPad back there, magazines. Yes, I still read magazines that you hold and flip the pages. I'm old school like that. Put your itinerary back there, boarding passes, things like that. Although I have never traveled with this thing as like a carry-on. I wouldn't dare do that just because of the weight. I know I would instantly regret it, or maybe not instantly, but probably 5 minutes into that trip, I'd regret it. Look how beautiful those markings are right there from the kind of a wrinkle. But anyway, the very, very useful exterior pocket. The other thing I like is the lining. It's the slick pigskin, say whatever you guys are calling it nowadays. I do like this because it's virtually waterproof. You spill something on it, you just wipe it out. So it's very cool. I don't like this, because it's not pliable, but the lining, the pigskin itself, I do like it. Don't much care for it as a pocket, but the lining and the front is even lined, as you can see. Really good idea, like that. And then the last thing that I like about this is that it is old logo, and this leather is just fantastic. Kind of, and again, I always mean this in a good way. I describe the old logo stuff by saying it's got like a oily kind of feel to it, and it's definitely thick. It's not. Again, I don't have any experience with the newest Saddleback stuff. I know a year or two ago, people like me maybe, were complaining that the leather's not as thick and blah, blah, blah. I can't speak to that because I don't own any new Saddleback pieces. I'm actually kind of afraid to order any just because I, in my mind, I'm probably going to be disappointed and have to return it. So I'd rather just kind of buy the older script logo stuff or whatever you guys are calling that logo, and this this old logo. But that is definitely one of the things I love about this bag is this chestnut is just so awesome in the old logo. Um, just really great leather. All right, guys, that concludes the 5 and 5 on the Saddleback leather side pocket duffel. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions or requests for future videos, let me know. I always accommodate reasonable requests. I've had some really good ones in the past. And as you guys know, I just recently resurrected the channel, I guess just a few days ago. And I've already given out a key fob to Kamal. It's on its way, Kamal, I promise. Hopefully you'll get it early next week. And I still have some other stuff to give away, so if you guys are interested in any of that from the previous video, let me know. And JK Quest, I believe, was the username, wanted the, what is that thing? The bag swag from Men A Wero, and I asked that you shoot me a private message on YouTube, which I think is possible. I hadn't heard back from you. Let me know if you're still interested in that, and I will get that thing out to you. All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you for watching.